And I'm like, I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for this. Like, what's going on? When God makes you uncomfortable, it's not just because. Hey, y'all. I'm over here laying down, taking a whole nap. Like, I just threw my rag off. I'm like taking a nap, and I woke up. I could like feel like I had like this weird dream, right? And it was an uncomfortable dream, and it like woke me up out my nap, and I was like, whoa. Like this month, y'all, for me, I did another video. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna post that one, y'all. I don't know. That one was like really, I was really vulnerable in that one, because I've been going through like some changes lately, and it's been uncomfortable for me. So some things have happened that I'm like, I didn't see coming, that are good things. It's not all bad, right? But then there's been like this, I've hit this point of like where I've like started to get kind of uncomfortable. Because this year, y'all, I said my focus is going to be to elevate. Like my whole thing going into this year, like I'm always like, I always choose a word for the new year. Like, what is going to be like my new thing this year? And for me, it's been like to elevate. Like I want to elevate my life. And, you know, I told God, I'm like, you know, I just want to elevate my life. And truthfully, y'all, when I said that, I'm thinking like on a superficial level. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a new car, you know, oh, I'm going to possibly like maybe, you know, become a homeowner, or maybe I'll wait. I don't know. But like, that's what I meant by like elevate. This piece of hair is bothering me. There we go. Okay, hold on. When I was thinking elevate, like I'm like, okay, I had my idea kind of what that would be, but I'm like, Lord, I want to elevate my life. And, you know, you gotta, when you say certain things, you'll know what you're asking for all the time, right? Like, I'm thinking, oh, I want to elevate my life, and this is going to be comfortable. You know, this is going to be, you know, I'm going to have the life I've been having, or something similar to how it was in 2023, but I'm going to like, it's just going to be better. And naively, like very, very naive of me, I'm like thinking that's going to happen without me having to get uncomfortable first. And I was very wrong. I feel like God has been making me uncomfortable. And that's been tough, because I don't necessarily like how it feels. But then me having faith, I know it's going to be for the greater good. And when I was laying here after I got up from my nap, I was laying here and I was like, you know, it made me think of when I lived in Georgia for a time. I had lived there for, how long was I in Georgia? 6 years. But anyway, and when I moved there with my mom, and it was her, you know, she's like, it's her dream to live in Georgia. And so, you know, we went, and for her, it didn't work out the way that she would have wanted it to work out, right? It wasn't like, in her mind, she had an idea of what that dream would look like. Like, she's like, oh, it's going to be this incredible experience, and it wasn't. And so she had left before me, and me and my mom were like this. We're like so close. And so I was like, okay. When she left, I was 20. And I had two choices at the time. You know, I had the choice of leaving with her. And at the time I was in, you know, college. And I'm like, I could leave with her, drop out of school, take a gap year, come to North Carolina, work a regular job, start school another time. Or, so that was option A. And then option B was like, stay, even though I didn't want to stay because I wanted to be where my mom was, I wanted to be with her and, you know, finish what I had started and stay in school. And if, I didn't want to stay in Georgia, come up with a plan to transfer out when it makes sense. And so it was really uncomfortable for me at the time. And honestly, like, truthfully, like, I was disappointed. Like, I was like, God, being in Georgia, that wasn't my dream. That was, that we came here because that's my mom's dream. Like, why are you keeping me here alone? And, I'm this 20-year-old college girl, don't know a damn about life. Like, I don't know a damn thing about life, really. Like, know what the hell I was doing. And when it first happened, I was like disappointed. I'm like, God, I feel so disappointed because like I said, I didn't come here because, living in Georgia is my dream. I came here because, I followed my mom for her to live her dream. And so I decided to stay, even though like it took a lot of convincing. My mom had to convince me, like, you need to stay, you need to stay in college. Like, I don't want you taking a gap year. Like, you're doing great. Like, you need to just, you have the momentum now. Like, I don't want you stopping for a year. And my dad's like, yeah, and you stop and you don't go back. And people do that all the time. And I'm like, yeah, the statistics support that. It's true. If I stop now, I could be like, yeah, my intention is in a year, I'm going to just start school right back up. But a lot of people don't go back, So I was like, okay, I heard them. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stay. And that for me was like, that was a challenge for me because I'm like, this isn't what I first saw. Like, this is not what I planned. Like, this is not, like, what? But now, older me looks back and I'm like, I needed that. God made me uncomfortable so that I could grow. So that I could see that Diamond is capable. So that I could see that I can depend on myself. Because up until that point, like I was always depending on others. Like it was my mom or my brother, or my dad. And I had to see for myself, like, you can depend on you. And that just propelled my growth so much further than it would have had I done the easy thing and left, because it was uncomfortable for me to stay at that time in Georgia by myself. But I say all that to say, in this season of my life right now, I'm reminded of that because things haven't been quite comfortable for me lately. And I'm like, before this new year started, I'm like, I want to elevate my life. I want to grow. Like that's the word for me this year. I'm like, I want to elevate. I want to elevate. And like, God didn't waste no time. He started immediately. Okay. And I'm like, I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for this. Like, what's going on? This is not what I planned. This is not what I expected. But I know that it's necessary. Me being uncomfortable right now is what is necessary for me to elevate. So you may be in an uncomfortable season in your life right now. You may be in transition between jobs, whether that was your choice or not. You may be going through financial struggles. I've been there too. Trust, where you're like, I don't know how I'm going to make it next month. Like, you may be going through, a breakup. You may be going through this season of just being uncomfortable. And it may not have just started for you this month. It could have started for you 6 months ago. But it's just on my heart to tell you, this complete stranger on the internet, that is going to be what's needed. This season is what's needed for you to elevate and for you to grow. May not look like what you would have desired, but when you look back a year from now, 2 years from now, maybe even 5 years from now, you're going to be like, I needed to go through that. Because I can tell you, when God makes you uncomfortable, it's not just because good is going to follow soon. Sooner than I think, sooner than you think out there. But yeah, y'all, I'm not going to hold you. I just had to get that off my chest because I'm like, I know I'm not the only one going through an uncomfortable season in life, and we're gonna all come out on top. So I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye, y'all.